In today's is the impute for the Archdiocese of Washington for the annual appeal, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. The one thing about this gospel is that I kind of disagree with most people on this gospel, because when most people take a look at someone who sinned against them and forgiveness and mercy, or treating others above and beyond human expectations, most people think, okay, try harder, do more, try hard, more, all this kind of stuff, all this activity. And I say, impossible. And I think one of the problems is with the gospel is that we've seen it so much that we just kind of overlook the shock value of the gospel. Because really human nature is going to be the Psalm of David. It's going to be Psalm 109. It's going to be a psalm of retribution. Take a look at Psalm 109, and that's human nature. So to go above and beyond human nature, it's really going to have to be God working in you. It's really going to have to be, okay, Lord, I don't want to forgive this person. I hate this person. I despise this person. Being honest to God about the person, and then saying, if you want me to forgive that person, you're going to have to be the one working in me to help me to change my heart, change my attitude, change my desires of retribution for that person. Because otherwise, two things are going to happen. One is that we're going to have pride and arrogance. This person did this horrible thing against me, but I forgave them from my heart. Pride and arrogance. Or the other one that you're going to get is the living martyr. I've had a bad thought about that person. I can't, I've tried hard. I need to try harder. Oh my gosh, all that kind of stuff, using, in a way, using the confessional as a scourging manipulation. So again, it's not that at all. I think, again, if it's more than just a disagreement, if it's truly that the person has sinned against one, then really it's going to have to be the Lord working in us to help us to love that person correctly. And the one thing about love is that love is not easy. It's, we think about an addict, and an addict would love to get another fix. And an addict would love you to give them money to be able to get that fix. But the problem is that that's not necessarily love. If they were in their right mind, they would want you to help them to get into rehabilitation. But again, they're not necessarily in their right mind. So the loving thing is not necessarily the easy thing. The easy thing is just give the person the money so that they can go get their fix. The harder thing is to work with that person to try to help them to see their need for rehabilitation. And then lastly, the idea of forgiveness, because a lot of people think forgiveness means that you're right back in the same position, that you are a human doormat and that you're right back in the same position. This is especially problematic when you get into something that's physical abuse, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it be spouse. If you have that physical abuse, you don't necessarily want to be back in that same position. Just because they say, I'm sorry, doesn't mean that you allow that person to come back into your life. Now, what we can do is that we can, again, asking the Lord to help us to forgive that person, to help us to not to do the human thing, which is kind of trash that person on social media or trash the person among their friends, to say, do you know what so-and-so did? And to actually pray for that person that they receive the help, that they receive the grace to think about what they've done and to have that true forgiveness and to have truly a change of heart. And so one of the things about this gospel is that it is that tough gospel, but I think it's not the Pelagian way of doing more, we need to try harder, do more, but instead allowing the Lord to work in us. Thanks. God bless.